Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's time for the VooDoo Chef Podcast, where we will discuss all things voodoo from the VooDoo Studios located right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. So to all my booties out there, if you're looking for nothing but a good time, this is the place to be. Call your friends, knock on the neighbor's door, and let them know it's time to party like a rock star for the next hour. Join me and my guests and learn to voodoo like we do as we discuss our faves and the voodoo that we use. I'll put our guests on the spot as we ask for their top 3, and make sure and listen as we discuss some of our favorite war stories from the kitchens we've worked in. Sit back, grab a tall glass of your favorite libation, and enjoy this episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast.
Bingo, bango, boingo, we're back.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
We're like the 80s.
Shit, never left.
How's life, man?
I don't know what day it is sometimes, but I guess it's all right, you know. Month number 3 of the Tragical Misery Tour.
That's a fucking true statement.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. So,
Other than that, life's good, buddy. Are you drinking coffee or beer?
no, it's just water. No, I had beer last night. With the ones I drink, you just can't drink those every night.
Yeah. My brother was. What's the cigar city that is fruity?
Probably the Highlight IPA. You know, it's got like a.
What's an APA?
That's what's called an American Pale Ale. They're not as aggressively hopped. Tampa Bay Brewing Company's Reef Donkey is a really good example. It's still hoppy, but it's not as just cloying and aggressive on the palate.
What about CCB? Do they have an APA?
Invasion, I think.
That might be the one he was drinking.
Yeah, it's what they call a single hop pale ale. It's straight Citra.
That's what he was drinking.
Yeah, I don't know if they advertise it as an APA per se. It's just, you know, it's a lighter IPA. It's just called Invasion Pale Ale, Citra Pale Ale. But yeah, that's.
And what's their coffee porter?
I don't know if they have a coffee porter. They have Maduro, which
That's
is
it.
That's the brown ale.
Brown ale, Maduro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they finally get CCB in wherever he lives, Ames.
Oh, okay.
Ames, Iowa.
Oh my
And
God.
he's all excited.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. They just got cable and internet too.
Oh my God. What is he doing out in Ames, Iowa?
Well, he was in Sheldon, Iowa, which is even shittier.
Oh, Jesus.
One stoplight, and I think the fucker flashes all the time. He called me when they got a McDonald's.
Oh my God.
He was teaching college out there at a Iowa, BFE tech school.
Oh my God.
And then when his daughter Caitlin went over to be a Cyclone, they moved over to Ames and went over there to live.
Okay.
Now he's hopefully just counting the days till he gets out of there, because Caitlin doesn't live there anymore. She lives in D.C.
Oh, wow.
Did you meet her when she came down to A1 Bay?
I believe yeah, I did. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, it's been so long, I'm trying to swirl my head around it.
Yeah, right before COVID.
Yeah, it was like that. I remember that. That was March 13th, last day of school, man.
Yep. We were supposed to be on the parade the next day.
Yep, and everything went to shit. I remember that.
That was fun. That was fun.
I mean, I've been out one time to a bar since. It was out in Clearwater when Grindhouse opened back up, and that's it. That's other than that, if it's I go to Publix, I hit Sprouts, I hit Target, I hit Shell if I got to get gas, and that's been about it.
Dude, Matt came to town,
Oh, wow.
so we hit Hooters.
That's
The
awesome.
The next day, we went to, now Matt's already gone, but, you know, I actually got the girls to go out and go to Hooters. The next day, we went to Big Ray's Fish Camp.
Yeah, Big Ray's Fish Camp, yeah.
Dude, that was on point, man. Big ass fucking grouper sandwich, reasonably priced.
Really? Okay.
Just hot as fuck outside. You know, it's all outside seating.
I know. I
You know,
can't see out eating that.
But you know, I was pleasantly pleased, and that doesn't happen often, and especially in a place where there's really no service. You know, because I go out for service, and at this place, you go out and you're sitting at a picnic table outside under a fucking, you know, playground shade that was pulled out of a elementary school because the Buccaneers donated a new one, and you know, and I was ecstatic. I mean, a big ass grouper. You know, it was a tail cut, but you know, it's okay. You gotta, you know, it's a $15 grouper, and the sandwich was huge. Parmesan garlic fries were on point, and an iced tea. Man,
Nice.
that's a Sunday afternoon right there.
That's a great meal, man.
And then for dinner, we went to Shaker and Peel and got margaritas and tacos
Oh, cool. Where's that at?
in Oldsmar. Don't go. Don't go. It's obviously owned by some pretentious fucking culinary wannabes because the tacos are so overproduced. You ask the server what's in a cocktail, he can't tell you. You know, ask him what an ingredient is, he can't tell you. These are your signature cocktails, dude. And halfway through the meal, he goes, "You're like a chef or something, aren't you?" And I said, "I am, dude, but I'm just here for some food and some drink, man. You know, I really don't care about how good or poor of a server you are, but at least walk away and give me the fucking answer."
Right. I mean, go find out. You know, have some initiative.
But
Excuse me.
you know, I had a mezcal margarita. You know, it was just so damn smoky. I couldn't drink it.
Oof.
Yeah, it was way too smoky. I'm not a big smoky guy. I like the peppery flavor of tequila. I don't, you know, they had that smoke and the, you know, the mezcal. I just not really too much a fan of that.
I don't know if I've ever had it. I mean, it's in the liquor itself. They didn't try the new thing where they smoke gun the glass and all that.
No, it's like drinking, like it's the difference between Maker's Mark and Jack Daniels. You know, Maker's is too smoky for me. And some people say that's not even smoky enough, but whatever.
Oh, God.
I can't drink it. It tastes like an ashtray. And yes, I left the H out of that word.
Nice.
So I don't have any notes because we're so familiar with Maiken. But I will introduce her as an event planner that is that is in charge of such events as Burger Showdown, Tampa's Gasparilla, the Pig Jig in support of Neff Cure, in addition to consulting on many other events, and serves on the board of directors for both the Florida Festival and Event Association and the VooDoo Chef Foundation. And we'll bring her in, and we're going to talk about the effects COVID has had on the event industry, you know, with things as small as local markets to as big as WrestleMania and potentially the Super Bowl. One thing we're not going to talk about is Gasparilla.
Okay.
So Gasparilla, other than in the introduction, is kind of off limits unless she brings it up.
Okay. I can do that.
Well, she doesn't want anybody to hear events are canceled and then hear the word Gasparilla, and Gasparilla's canceled. So if we just stay away from Gasparilla completely, we're good to go.
Oh, I understand completely.
And she has no idea about Dylan coming in for trivia.
Oh, shit.
And she is super, super competitive.
That's funny.
Oh, she's worried about it. She's emailed me twice saying, who's guest number 2? And I said, that's who you're playing in trivia. Who am I playing? And I told her she's playing the Beast from the TV show The Chase. And she has no clue what that is.
Oh, how funny.
All right, I'm sending it. I should have sent it to you because it's got the trivia questions on it. So I just sent it to you. And trivia questions are easy. What are the name of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's kids? I'm going to not even pay attention who's first or second. I overrun that all the time. So I'm going to let you call on them. And you're going to have to score because there's 10 of them.
Okay.
Who did Forbes name the youngest self-made billionaire ever in 2019? Kylie Jenner. Bullshit. Did you get them? Is that what you're looking at now?
Yeah.
Okay, then we're good. I'm not going to go through and read them all.
Okay.
But pretty simple. And then by 8:45, we should have Dylan in the room
Cool.
to do the trivia. You want to do a top 3? We haven't done top 3 in a while. I could text her and say we're going to do a top 3. What are your 3 favorite? What do you want to do?
No. Damn.
What old man Gary share?
I don't know. It looks like I think it's that video of Aryans telling people to wear a mask. I didn't even look at it. I just closed most shit.
Yeah, that's what I think it was too.
Yeah, there ain't too many people that I pay attention to anymore. Not that Gary's not one of them, but usually people send me that shit on Messenger, and it's something fucking stupid, and there's no universe in which I can imagine giving a fuck. It's just not there.
I just got another text. Sorry.
No worries.
Maiken, of course, wanting to know if she gets to know any of the questions in advance. She goes, I'm happy to talk specifics about rescheduling of the wedding, anything like that if that helps. But when it comes to overall events, we have to keep it very broad-based per Daryl.
Okay.
So what time we got? We got 8:06. She's like early. I'm going to send her a nice little message here saying, way to be early. On time is early. Early is on time.
Yeah.
On time is late. Give me a sec. We will introduce you.
You got my resume corrections, right?
It's probably in my email.
Okay.
I appreciate that. That's the first resume I've written in 23 years.
I wouldn't know what I did one years ago, and it hasn't changed except for dates. I redid Williams because I sent him my template, and I said, dude, I just got this off Google. Fill in your shit, because I think he wanted. I told him he needed to get something on deck in case he ever left Chamberlain, which thankfully he did. And now that our program, there's a new boss, they've changed the name, and it's going to grow. On the school board meeting today, they mentioned that there was going to be a procedure to transfer people in there. I'm going to throw it past him to see if he's interested. He might not be, but I tell him I'll put in a good word with him. I haven't met with the new boss yet. He said he wanted to meet with everybody one-on-one, whether face-to-face or Zoom. And I told him, dude, I really need to get out of the house. So, I can sit in front of you and wear a mask because it would get me out. So, everybody's seems like a lot of people are just real poignant about going back because they're not going to force kids to wear masks, but we get it. What are you going to do? Spend all day telling people you need to put it on, calling an administrator, fighting with them? Fuck that.
I agree. I didn't get to see the thing. But,
Excuse me.
I don't know who I was listening to. U.S. spends more money in education than any place else, and we have the poorest success rate in education than anywhere else. They said Baltimore per capita spends more anywhere in the world and is third from the bottom.
Wow.
Of anywhere in the world. And, when you think to our classrooms, I'd like to say that's our teachers, but I think it's the system. And you and I know there's some shitty motherfucking teachers out there.
Oh, yeah.
We could probably just start going this one and this one and this one and this one.
Yeah.
And just, start taking off our shoes and using our toes to count.
Oh, yeah.
But that's any industry. I mean, look what we're going through with police forces across the nation. Maybe educational reform needs to be at the forefront of everything too. But there's some amazing teachers out there too, and it sucks that we feel like babysitters. And I don't know about you, but that's how I feel a lot of times.
It's there are days when there's just no momentum, so I just go in, pull up my laptop, and I start trying to clear out emails, and I got about 9,500 unread ones on Gmail. So
isn't it shitty when you go into work and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna be just like everybody else.
Yeah.
There's days during this pandemic I'm looking at fucking, you just pick up your phone while you're doing your work and you're flipping through Facebook like the rest of the planet, and you're like, all right, that teacher's at the beach today. Fuck, look, that teacher's at the beach today. And I'm like, fuck it, why am I sitting here working?
Yeah.
We all get paid the same. Fuck.
No, that's why we're having it's not even a second wave, it's more like a mesa of COVID, because it's millennials either going to the bar, going to the beach, out protesting, and they've all got mostly mild cases, mild to asymptomatic, but everybody's all up in arms and poignant about that shit. It's like, you know what? There's only about 3 or 4 things that get me poignant: food, music, and movies. That shit ain't it. That's it. It's the arts. You give yourself over to it, but you really got to read in the numbers, because if it was that bad, they would have pulled back. Nobody's pulling back, and I think that's why the superintendent, I haven't met him, but he's dug in like a donkey and said, I've heard from a lot of parents, man, these kids need to get back to school. They don't do well. They don't do well if they're not supervised. If we were that age and we didn't have anybody home to tell us what to do, what would we do? We'd be fucking about too. Dude,
we'd be watching Monkeys followed by Ultraman, and then going out and playing fucking a war tag, and then fucking, it's a different time right now. These fuckers are wrapped up on their goddamn phone, sitting on a couch, doing not a goddamn. And the parents are realizing, shit, they don't listen to me.
I'd be getting up at noon, making a big-ass plate of nachos with fucking 3 types of cheese and black olives and sour cream and jalapenos and leftover meat. And
then
I'd go back. Yeah.
I'd even eat those nachos.
Yeah. I'd go right back to bed, lay there and watch some shit and pass out again. That was college on the days I didn't have class. You
had me at nachos.
Exactly.
Hey, I went to college, and apparently I didn't have class a single day of the week. Because I was never there.
Oh, I can't tell you the number of times I had class at like 8 or 9, and I rolled out of bed like 15 minutes beforehand, just stayed in the same sweatpants, threw on a shirt, grabbed the flip-flops and the bike and the backpack that I never opened up, and just read off, and still got there 5 minutes early.
So, see, that's the difference between you and I. You and me, Mr. English guy there.
No, it's me.
See, I lived on campus. I lived in Beta Hall at USF. And I would get up at 7 o'clock every day. And I would get on my motorcycle and I'd drive all the way to Courtney Campbell Causeway and go to work at Castaway. At that time it was at Crawdaddy's. And I would work at Crawdaddy's. And then I'd get on my motorcycle and I'd drive to band rehearsal where we would practice. And then I'd drive back to USF and go to sleep. So I was registered for classes, but I never fucking went.
You were like D-Day.
And that's why, everybody says, you got kicked out of college? Dude, you're kind of bright. Yeah, not bright enough to actually go to fucking class or give a shit. But but it is what it is, man. Let's get this motherfucker started, man.
Let's do it.
I think we already did, but you know what? What's going on, Voodies? Welcome to the Voodoo Chef Podcast. Ed and I are just here kicking, reminiscing. We haven't talked to each other in a little bit. And we're just having some fun talking about our USF days. Days when Ed actually went to class and got some education, even though he woke up late and got there. Ed's a smart dude. I don't know if you knew that. Me, on the other hand, I would drive to work at the restaurants and skip class altogether because I rather work with food and cook food. And then I'd go play my guitar at night, and then I'd go back to campus and sleep. I don't think I even stepped foot in the classroom. That's why they kicked me out. Stay in school. Eddie C.
What's that?
Life's good?
Yeah, man. My greatest decision anymore is which Yeti to pick. Today it's the silver one. Tomorrow it's going to be the baby shit green one. I mean, I can't complain too much about this. So,
this might
public now and nobody recognizes me. It's fantastic.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Isn't it great? I'm gonna have a shocker here for Voodoo. I was gonna say Voodoo Nation, but we're not Voodoo Nation. All the Voodies out there might be a little shocked by this, Ed. I can't remember the last time I've had a Jack Daniels.
Whoa.
True statement. But I am making some badass margaritas, man. I am back on the tequila train. We're having margaritas. We're drinking margaritas. We're drinking it straight. My daughter bought me a bottle of Don Julio. We're sipping on that. Making some Salsa Blue margaritas with the little Grand Marnier floaters. Oh. And none of this crap. We make everything scratch. And oh, man, they're so good. I am missing my Jack, though. Missing my Jack. As I look over at the bar and I see the bottles.
But it's, if you get margaritas, how can you be missing Jack? It'd be like if you're eating a ribeye and going, boy, I miss prime rib. The fuck is wrong with you? Shit. I think of margaritas. I think of the days of the old Chi-Chi's on Fowler. Oh, my God. The happy hour margaritas, I mean, for a couple bucks, you could upgrade to the top shelf booze. Well worth it.
I drink so many damn margaritas, it's just, we better just stay at home and make them. We were in LA years ago for my brother's wedding, and we're at this restaurant. I can't even remember what it was, name of the place. And my brother walks in and he goes, "Hey, everybody, eat, drink, whatever you want. It's on my dad." I think that was my dad's first heart attack.
Oh, shit.
But we had some amazing margaritas that night. Me and my other brother, we ordered pitchers and bowls of guac and had a great time. So my dad had his first heart attack of his life. It was so it's the big one. It's the big one.
Yeah, you did the Red Fox.
Exactly. Hey, dude, we got an awesome podcast today. We got some powerhouses coming in and joining us. A lot of times we hang out with some pretty cool people, you and I. And, we don't really realize the magnitude of what some of these people we hang out with do. But today, we've got a young lady on. I say a young lady because we're old dudes, man. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and bring her in as we're talking about her here. And you know what? Let me pause on that because we got to do the Voodoo stuff. If you missed us at the Voodoo Hangout last weekend, whatever weekend that was, you missed some badass burgers. You missed a lot of information about the foundation and all the things we got planned for the year coming up. We're really going to try to hit some home runs coming out of this COVID and make a difference and help even more kids this year than we did last year. We're continuing our Hope program. It's our hope that nobody goes without. So we're going to be jumping into these schools and feeding some of these children in need. And, make sure you look for our Foundation Friday happy hours. We get together on Friday sometimes on Zoom and just hang out and chat different topics and talk. We might have one this Friday. But to check all that out, make sure you go onto the Voodoo Chef Facebook page. That's where all the Voodoo Chef events are posted. or you can jump over to the Erik Young's page, give me a little howdy do, and you can stay up to date on all events. And talking about events, we have a CBA joining us right now. If you don't know what a CBA is, that is a certified badass. I like to call her friend, my friend Maiken Stefany. She is an event planner. She hosts and plans events such as Burger Showdown, Tampa's Gasparilla, Pig Jig, which is in support of a nonprofit known as NEFCure, in addition to consulting for many other events. And she serves on the board of directors for both the Florida Festivals and Event Association, and of course, the VooDoo Chef Foundation. Maiken, Stefany, what's going on?
Hello, Chef. Thank you for having me. Hi, Ed.
Hey.
How are you?
All right.
It's a great day, is it not?
It's not bad. Not bad.
So tell us first what's going on in the world of Maiken Stefany.
Ooh. I forgot.
Did you leave the house today?
Nope.
That's a great
I did not. It's like 50-50 every day on if I leave the house. Outside of going to like work, I don't really go anywhere. Work in like my parents' house. That's it.
That's not a bad day.
Yeah, just trying to be safe.
It's trying to be safe. It's a crazy time right now. And, you know, we strategically wanted to plan you on the podcast so we could get it as close to the release date as possible, because we want to talk about the world outside and what's going on and how crazy fucking COVID is. And just so you know, there are no rules. There you go, breaking out the, what is that? What kind of cocktail?
What do we got there?
That's some sort of...
I don't know how to say the brand name. It's a grapefruit Hefeweizen.
Schafferhofer.
That, what he said.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it. It's light, too.
It's very light. Kevin wanted it, and then now I'm drinking it, so.
Kevin and I need to get together and make some margaritas. I was telling everybody how I can't remember when the last time I had a Jack Daniels was, because I've been drinking so many damn margaritas lately.
Terrifying.
His go-to moves are Jack Daniels or margaritas. It's kind of scary how you guys share the same palate.
Oh, man. Well, that's a good thing. I like him more every day. And thank God his last name's not Stefany, because I might have to find, he might have vetoed into my favorite Stefany, and we can't have that.
I guess technically he could change his name instead of me changing my name.
Technically, that could happen. If anybody could make it happen, I think it would be you.
Yep.
That's probably accurate.
So Maiken, you do a lot of things in the local market, and you know, Ed and I were just reminiscing back to some of our last events. VooDoo's last event prior to a little meet and greet I did a couple weeks ago was March 13th, the day before Tampa went on lockdown. And I was out doing a little howdy do. We were supposed to be in a parade the next day, and life got turned upside down. I thought I was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for a moment. Not that I watch that show. But, you know, we talk about, you know, school being different. We talk about all kinds of things. When we talk about the event world, it's kind of crazy because nothing is happening. There's not even a local market taking place anymore. I can't go down to my local market and buy some of my cool local goods that I like. Give us a little heads up from the association on what we're talking about, what we're thinking about, how it's affected us. And I say us, but I really mean globally. This is global. What's the event world look like?
Yeah, so it's really uncharted territories, right? I think a word we hear a lot is unprecedented. It really is. Most of us not, or all of us maybe have not lived through a pandemic quite like this before. So
I did survive the 70s.
That was tough, man.
The events world has really, like you said, it's kind of been turned on its head. I think people are innovating. People are coming up with ways to connect and to communicate and maybe to present some events that would have otherwise been in person. I know a lot of, from the association side, there's definitely a lot of events taking place online that maybe were educational or were like speaker specific events. So not necessarily what we would call like a community event or like a live event, but it is still an in-person event typically. And so you're seeing that move online. And I think in the future, you'll see some people will find that like the cost of doing some of that online is beneficial to them. So I think they'll probably continue to have a heavy online presence. But I do think that the live event world will come back, you know, stronger and better than ever when it does.
You know, when we think of events, you know, I think of things like Burger Showdown, you know, that would be a community event. I think of things like, you know, I mean, when WrestleMania finally comes to Tampa and it has to get canceled. I think of that as a big event. And they're just not happening right now. And, you know, you see a lot on the telly, the internet, and maybe I hear a lot about it because it's my industry. We hear about the restaurants and the challenges they're going to face. We had Casey Grillo, the drummer for Queensryche, on, and we talked about the musicians and how they're hurting and how even the stagehands who don't make the money the musicians make, how they're hurting because there are no events. But we tend to think about the event producers, the production teams, the event planners. You know, you could trace it back to all these interrelated career fields, and it's a lot larger than I think we're really understanding or coming to face. How many people, just in your brain, you know, from being associated with these big events, you know, I mean, I'm thinking of all the people that I've met through you. I mean, I've got Bobby calling me saying, "Hey, Chef, you know anybody looking?" It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a really intricate web that hospitality weaves, and I think we did hear a lot about the frontline sort of workers as in regards to like restaurants and servers, because that was like every day, oh, my restaurant that I like to go to on Fridays is closed. So I think it was more like readily available and like affected people more instantly than perhaps, oh, that event that only happens once a year didn't happen or
Right.
happened yet. So I think it doesn't like resonate with people that, you know, there's some events that build their whole year on a single day. So to have that postponed or even canceled is really harsh. There was a big push when things first went down in March to postpone, not cancel. So that some of those people like you're talking about, like whether it's stagehands or planners or florists or caterers or whoever it may be, they will have already, you know, received a lot of the time a deposit. And so they were trying to say like postpone, don't cancel,
Right.
because, you know, there's like seasons, especially in events, especially in Florida, and the summer is very slow here for everybody. So you may not have any events, you know, if you're a wedding planner or something, you may not have any actual weddings in like June, July, August, because it's so hot, but you've already taken deposits, even though you have back-to-back weekends in the fall. So like to cancel and have to return that can be a real cash flow problem that I'm not sure general public like thinks about.
So speaking of those wedding planners, you haven't been personally hit by this, have you?
I did postpone our wedding, or we postponed our wedding, I should say. I was trying to look up real quick when you mentioned March 13th and 14th, because I was trying to see what day we had texted people. Our wedding was originally scheduled for March 28th in Tampa. And I think we probably pulled the trigger. I want to say it was like 10 days out. It wasn't mandatory for groups smaller or groups of our size yet. We have probably, I think we invited 200. So it wasn't mandatory, but I think like the day after or 2 days after we announced that we were going to push our wedding to October, then it cut down to like no more than groups of 10. So it was a really tough decision, but ultimately the right decision.
You know, I don't know what day it was or when it was, but you were hounding me. Hey, I haven't got your RSVP. I haven't got your RSVP. You're late. But now that the wedding's in October, I'm early.
Yeah. Yeah, we had finished, literally everything. I mean, when you're only a week out or so from an event of any kind, you've got pretty much everything buttoned up. So we had finished truly everything that we needed to do. And so got to redo some of it now that it's pushed to October. But
I was talking with the girls the other day, and they're like, Maiken's got to be going crazy with the wedding plans. I go, what? They've been done forever.
yeah.
What are you talking about? They're done. Now
That's
it's
so
just
funny.
hang out.
Shit to the last minute. Jeez.
Yeah, somebody asked us, I guess in the last week or two, it just happens to have come up in conversation several times, and I feel like it hadn't previously, and maybe it's because things are starting to open up or whatever it may be. But we've had some people ask us, like, oh, what about your wedding? Or, what are you doing? Or how's that planning going? And we honestly, since we moved it in March, we haven't even discussed it. I called Kevin and my immediate family. Like, we've been talking about it a little bit because we canceled honeymoon because that was supposed to be in Italy. So that went first. And so we had been talking about it and had been studying, all the graphs online. And when we decided to push the date, there were only a couple of Saturdays available for the venue and for my family, and they included like the Saturday after Christmas. And
you got the best one.
So I know you're a big Halloween fan. I'm not a huge Halloween fan, but I'd rather be getting married than doing something Halloween related. So be with the new date.
I think it's the coolest date ever. And,
Thank you.
And I want you to, this is actually hysterical. Your brother is actually the event planner for our golf tournament. And we were in a meeting, and someone else on the committee says, Halloween's open. It's on a Saturday. We can have the golf tournament on Saturday. And Dylan and I both just look at each other, and we're like, no, that probably wouldn't be a good idea. and Dylan looks at me and says, well, I'll be okay. I said, well, if we do it on that Saturday, I just can't have any Jack. And the other person in the group goes, what's happening on Halloween that you guys won't be able to drink if we have the golf tournament? And we're like, same time, Maiken's wedding. The other person goes, absolutely not. No, we are not having the golf tournament on that day because you guys will get in trouble.
Yes, can vouch for that.
But you know what? It's okay. We're having it on November 7th, so now you can come.
I heard.
You're not on your honeymoon.
I know. We're definitely not doing Italy this fall. We're not, as much as I think things are going to open up and we're looking forward to that, we're not like booking international travel quite yet, especially to Italy of all places, because that's where we still want to go. So,
well, we're the hotbed now, so who knows, right?
We're looking at going there, and if not by the end of the year, hopefully by the next. My wife's working on dual citizenship there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there some of it that we might have to go, not only because she wants to research some genealogy, but it's going to be, there's a couple parts of it that probably need to be done in person because of her situation and how she wants to get it. It might involve an appeal because her grandparents came here in 1921, and part of it was they had to renounce their citizenship, but her mother was 4 months old. Well, she couldn't have renounced her citizenship. All babies do at that time is just go, and shit the diapers. So, y'all have like nice backgrounds. I look like something in the fucking basement of the Russian Politburo, man. You got like shirts, she's got books. I got a fucking mirror.
These are my centerpieces. Well, some of them are centerpieces for our wedding. We're doing book stacks. So there are people, all of our wedding decor was like out in the middle of our living room, and then we moved the date. And so living room for a little bit, and then eventually we were like, this can't sit here for another 6 months.
Oh my God.
So it's just like in every crevice of our house.
Wow.
That's too funny. So Maiken, I want to ask you large scale, okay? No specific, well, I want to ask about Super Bowl, but the NFL does what they want to do. What's the future of events look like? We talk about, maybe some of these speaking engagements, maybe they end up on Zoom now because we have a less costs involved. And this might be the opportunity to drive it that way and still have the attendance. But our community events, even from the local market to large scale events like music festivals and stuff like that, what's it look like? What are we talking about?
Yeah, so
just to size it up, the only barometer I have to go by is they moved the Motley Crue concert from July 2020 to June 2021. That's the only barometer I have to go by.
That's all you give a shit about, isn't it?
It is, really.
and it's probably in large part due to that being the first date available, not that they needed to push it. So one of the things that, I think the events industry is going to come back and, like I said, be stronger than ever. And I think there will be an even greater appreciation for the events industry and for that gathering in community than maybe the general public had before the pandemic happened. I don't know if people realized how much they did miss going out into the community or going to a concert with their friends or even like grabbing dinner. I'm in the process now of planning a wedding for a client in February. And part of what we've discussed is, and it happens across the board with all events, is you have these events that would have been in spring 2020 or maybe summer 2020, and then you would have had normal event schedules in fall 2020 or in the beginning of 2021 or even summer 2021. So now you're not only fighting against the regular schedule, but you're fighting against, for calendar dates and for vendors and things, you're fighting against those pandemic brides, myself included. See,
I don't even think about stuff like that. I'm just like, damn.
Yeah, when we moved our wedding, we said, let's push it at least a few months so that, we weren't going to only 3 days. That's just the event planner and me. We wanted, if we were going to reset, for a couple months out at least. So it was in March and we pushed it to October. So another 6 or so months. And part of what happened, even when we did this in March, and like I said, we did it right before cancellations were mandated in the state and in the city. And so we kind of got a little bit ahead of the curve. But when we went to move it, I called the venue and they said, we have Saturday, October 31st, Saturday after Thanksgiving, or Saturday, December 26th. And I was like, well, I'm good with any of those. But I asked my family and I called in that morning and I said, which date do you prefer? And my family said they couldn't do, some of the holiday dates. So I just started calling vendors about October 31st, booked them. I think I called Kevin back 4 or 5 hours later, before he even got home from work that night. And I was like, it's done. I've moved the entire wedding, and part of it was just seeing the scarcity of dates available. And for his schedule and my schedule, if we didn't do it in the fall, we were going to have to wait until spring 2021. And that would have been, then I would have been competing with the brides I'm planning now. So,
my brain doesn't even think about the events that are there because I'm just thinking everything's pushing back, but everything's not. Only the ones that are canceling now. And then they have to gap in. So it's actually a double competition at that point.
Yeah, there's definitely events that I know even, and I'm not going to mention them, but there's definitely events that I know of locally that have had to postpone because they were scheduled for the spring or summer, and they, as much as they want, they do not have a date available, for the rest of 2020 so far. And even if they're trying to push through and try as hard as they can, there's only so many dates, so many parks, so many, staff availabilities. So they're just limited.
Well,
I think you're going to see costs in anything in the future. You're going to see COVID costs baked in. like cleaning the place after the event's over, masks if people want it, hand sanitizer, all that shit. You know, nobody's just going to eat that cost. I mean, restaurants, I guess, are already starting to either tack on surcharges or raise their prices accordingly. I don't know if there's like a line item on their tab, but I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon, even though like epidemiologists are kind of saying, you know, even though cases are up, it's starting to wobble off. So don't be surprised if there's a sharp drop at some point. And then the governor says, okay, then we go to phase 3, which is basically back to normal. I mean, it's like we're almost there, but we're not. But there's going to be stuff that lingers on. I mean, you're about half my age, I'm guessing. This is your 9/11. There's going to be things that keep going. So
that's, you know, one thing that Carlos Villanueva, Chef Carlos Villanueva, he and I were talking, and we're talking about the restaurant industry. He just did a large panel discussion worldwide for the American Culinary Federation talking about catering. And I'm like, Carlos, are these changes, are they here to stay? Are they here to stay? He's like, remember 9/11 and how the travel industry changed? And you know, it was real strict at first, but then some of it loosened up. He says we're going to see the same thing here. You know, some of it will loosen up, but you're right, some of it's here to stay, and it's going to be passed on to the consumer. And that's, you know what, I'm okay with that if people are keeping us safe. So, you know, Maiken, I've got
a mask, dude. That's what I need. I need a cooler mask. That fucking buck sock that I pull around up to my nose that was the old, whatever it was, it's a damn head wrap with John Lynch on it. That shit's getting old,
exactly.
man.
We've got some of those too, man. I think Marie's working on some VooDoo masks.
See, that would be cool.
I think she's working on some VooDoo masks. She said something about it yesterday, but we'll see. And then you're definitely on the list, Ed.
Well, I think you need to make a retro one. Put that split image logo on it. That's what I want.
I think with you added to the list, we might be able to move 5 of them.
It's a handful.
Well, there's only 4 remaining members of the band alive, so. But Maiken, I've got like 3.2 million questions I really want to ask you, but you're going to have to commit to coming back on because we are limited in time, and only because we still got to do pointless pop culture trivia, and I want to do a top 3. I don't know if you got the message. I want to talk burgers.
It doesn't let me respond back to you, so I just was like,
we're going to do them here.
Okay.
We're doing them live. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, favorite burgers. And you know what? I don't care where it came from. I was in D.C. and I ate at Capital Burger, and it's supposed to be this hoity-toity burger place. That's the shittiest burger I ever had in my life. You know, so it doesn't matter where it was. If it hit you and it was a burger, I'm excited. I want to hear about it because I'm always looking for new burgers to make and try. And Ed, we know the number 1 is the Durst burger, but I want you to tell me places outside of your own creation. Ed makes a burger that he grinds his own meat, and he uses dirt on one side and dust on the other, and he calls it the Durst burger.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of grinding your own meat, did you hear about the butcher that backed up into the meat grinder? He got a little behind in his work. Boom. All right, here we go. We're going to start with our third burger. I don't want to say least favorite because, I mean, hell, it ranks 3 out of all the burgers we've ever had. Ed, we'll start with you. Cool?
Sure.
What's your 3rd favorite burger? And Maiken, just so you know, we say all the time, this is as of today because everybody's flavors and tastes change on the reg. 3rd favorite burger, Ed?
Probably one of the ones out at a little place in St. Pete that right now is closed. Not sure if it's reopening. Harvey's 4th Street Grill, just their regular old house burger. You know me, I don't get it with the L top. It's just cheese and maybe a little bit of mustard. They grind in-house, and it's just a great fresh burger. I'm hoping they come back. But little mom and pop places like that, I don't know, man.
Man, that sounds yummy.
It's a
That
good
sounds
one.
yummy. I love house made, man. I love it. Maiken, what's your third best burger?
Does it have to be a traditional
It can
beef?
be whatever you want.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the veggie burger from Okinola.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. I was a little skeptical because I'm always skeptical about veggie burgers because I just don't want like a black bean patty. And I don't even know that this had black beans in it. And I think it must have had beets in it because it was like a little bit sweet and also somehow had like that pink red center.
Are you sure they weren't using the Impossible?
Yes, I am certain about that.
That's super cool.
I know they have like a fancy name for it, but I just would call it the veggie burger, but it's very good.
Well,
And
we all know how I feel about vegetarians.
well,
Escalade.
I think that if you haven't been to Okinola, first of all, well, you have been because
I have been with you.
Yeah. My favorite obsession, this is a sidebar, my number one cocktail right now in town is the Josefina. I think it might be the Josefina V from Okinola. It's like a mezcal. It's
We were
really
just
good.
talking about that.
It's so good.
I
That's my
had
favorite.
mezcal.
You asked me.
I don't know what day it is. I think I had mezcal yesterday or the day before, and whatever I was drinking was just way too smoky for me. I sent it back and just got a traditional marg.
Not in Okinola.
No, not at Okinola.
Theirs is primo.
We're gonna have to go there, and you guys are about ready to like judge me. The Voodoo Chef Podcast is the judge-free zone. My number 3 favorite burger, because it's probably the one I eat the most. Guilty pleasure, a McDouble with extra ketchup and extra onions. Quick, easy, nostalgia in a yellow wrapper. Winner, McDouble dinner right there. Maiken, what's your number 2? Here's where we get real.
Ooh. Number 2, I'm going to go Goody Goody. And let me just clarify that all of these with
It's
cheese.
so good.
I like all of these
I
with
love that
cheese.
sauce.
I don't ever eat just a hamburger. When you ask me about hamburger,
It
I
has
think
to have cheese.
I need a cheeseburger. So, Goody Goody. Yeah. And it's just that like great, like old school, like diner burger.
It's so good.
And their pancakes are really good. And if you get a side of like banana pancakes to go with your burger, that's like just full of protein and
Damn you, Maiken Stefany.
it's so good. And their milkshakes are really good. I mean, listen,
I like the fried chicken and mashed potato dinner.
I have never had that.
Oh my, Angelina gets it and I end up eating it.
Pancake. The pancakes are like bigger than my computer screen. They're huge.
They're huge. They're huge. Eddie C, I mean, I'll talk about Goody Goody forever because you know what? It's Goody Goody.
I'm an apostate, man. I don't like that sauce. My wife loves it, but I never got into it. And I remember going to the original one on Florida back when we started dating, like in 98, 99. I tried it. I'm like, I know I'm an asshole, but I don't dig the tomato sauce.
Dude, so many people told me it was horrible. So when I went there, I was expecting something horrible.
And on
And
the side,
it was so good. I get a dinner and a burger because I'm
Damn.
fat.
the milkshakes, that's where it's at.
I'll pass out. If I have a
So-
milkshake, within 20 minutes, I pass out.
Maiken said sidebar. I got to go with the sidebar. Burger meal that I've had, I've made it maybe twice, and every time I've had it, it was such a gut bomb, was the old Moco Loco with burger patties over rice, couple eggs on the burgers, and then brown gravy on the whole thing.
Oh,
I have not made
wait,
that.
you make that or you buy that?
No, I made that. There used to be a food truck down at this end of town that made it, that did Hawaiian food, and that's what it is. I mean, it's just a bed of rice, then you put the burgers on that, then the fried eggs on that, and then cover the whole thing in brown, like mashed potato gravy.
Dude, that sounds like an old school garbage plate, man.
It is, except for the fucked up chili and macaroni salad and all that.
Hey,
but it was really good.
hey. Careful there, Eddie C.
I know. I'm about to get my ass kicked virtually.
All right,
No,
my number
made
2.
that.
I
Like-
want to eat that. I want that at the next Buccaneer party.
Okay, I'll tell the wife.
Along with the chicken dip or the hamburger dip. The hamburger
Listen,
dip.
I'm looking at having it one of those weekends before or after Thanksgiving this year because the upstairs is done. It's like a whole separate party room. It's got, fridge, TV, couches, tables, the whole thing. But
Bill and I will be hanging out next to the hamburger dip.
I bet you would. So my number 2 is my own, but it's like the 1A. I'm going to say the Durst burger with dirt and dust on one side, on opposite sides. But cheese-wise, that's where I either vary it up. It's either the Gruyere Munster Gouda triple blend or a really good pepper jack for that. That's mine at home. But otherwise, nothing else. No bacon, no mushrooms, no L-top, no condiments, nothing.
A good burger doesn't really need it.
No, because then you get like my housekeeper's Rugrat kids who drown every fucking thing possible in Chick-fil-A sauce. Everything.
I'm glad I don't do that. Hey, my number two is a self-creation as well. How about that?
Good.
We were tasked out to rewrite a burger menu. I got brought in to work on this, and I brought in one of my peers, one of our friends, Chef Hollywood, and our day started the same every time. We would show up, we'd sit at the bar, we'd have a beer, and we talk about what we were going to conquer that day. And we came up with a version of a Juicy Lucy that to this day just gets me super duper excited. Instead of putting regular, cheddar cheese or whatever inside between the two patties, if you don't know Juicy Lucy, you take two patties and you put the cheese on the inside. We stuffed it with blue cheese. Oh. And then we grilled it. We took it out. We dunked it inside buffalo sauce, put it back on the grill, dunked it again, put more blue cheese and bacon on top, and it was just like phenomenal. It was our favorite burger out of the 20 that we created, and one of only 2 that didn't make the menu.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Shit.
One of only 2 that didn't make the menu. It was hysterical. It was our favorite. And I still think about it today. Just super yummy. Super yummy.
Why did it make the menu?
I don't know. I mean, it was a better burger concept place. And I just think that the owners didn't like the fusion, and they didn't want to take away from the sale of their chicken fingers, which is their number 1 seller on the menu anyway. They felt it might compete with that. Maybe that was it. I don't know.
It seems time consuming for.
It is.
Worth it.
It is. But you know what? If we made 20 a day and you came in and you were guest number 21 and we're like, dude, we sold out, my fat ass would be back tomorrow earlier. That's just me. All right, here comes the big one, Maiken, Stefany, from someone who's put on burger events. This is important to me. What's your number 1 burger?
Listen, I'm not trying to start fights.
And just so you know, I know you're very competitive. This is not the trivia part. That's next. So this is just opinion.
I'm going to be so mad. Let me just disclaimer for the trivia part. I'm going to be so mad if I don't get trivia questions right, because I don't know, Ed, if he told you this. He was like, stupid questions, they don't mean anything. And I was like, well, give me an example. And then he gave me a couple of examples and I got them correct. And I was like,
all of them.
I was like, when we have the actual trivia, I'm not going to get them correct. I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah, but you also texted me about 30 minutes ago and said, so do I get to see any of the questions in advance?
Oh, I meant the questions you were going to ask me, not your trivia questions. I didn't know about trivia until you just told me.
Oh, you wanted to dude, this is VooDoo Chef. We're just hanging out. Come on, you should know this.
Well,
how long have you known me?
I don't know. Last time I tried to get you to do a happy hour, you were like, I'm going to write an agenda. And I was like.
But I didn't.
No, you didn't.
All right, so what's your number 1 burger, Maiken, Stefany?
My number 1 burger,
And by the way, happy hour. This is dropping on Friday morning. So happy hour tonight. Foundation at 5, whatever the fuck we call it. Foundation Friday happy hour.
Yeah, Foundation Friday.
Foundation Friday, 5 o'clock tonight. So if you're watching this podcast, Make sure you log on to Zoom at 5 o'clock tonight. You'll find the information on the VooDoo Chef page. Maiken's like, why the fuck does he tell me this shit like this now? I read your mind as you're looking at your phone, checking everything.
I'm like, that shit's not in my calendar. Okay.
All right, number one burger.
Number one. And first of all, let me just say, I think it's fair that
She's as ADD as me.
said creations for your number two, because I didn't know that self-creations were an option. Not that any of my self-creations would be top three, but that's besides the point.
I'm just saying, if I haven't had it, I'm going to be pissed. As you switch whatever you're drinking.
Oh, no, yeah, now I went to Florida Ave.
Florida Ave.
Nice.
My favorite, their lager. Shout out to Derby. My favorite burger in town is from Robert's Meats.
Oh, wow.
And by that face, I can tell you haven't had it.
No, it's right by me. I mean, it's like 5 minutes across from me.
Oh, really? Then you must be close to me.
Yeah, I'm in South Tampa, 2 blocks north of Plant. So.
Yeah, we're down by, I don't know, we're probably a mile from Robert's.
Okay.
What's the name of the place?
Robert's Meats.
Okay.
It's a butcher shop that also has like sandwiches and stuff. And it's so good. All of their stuff is great. They have great steak sandwiches and Philly cheesesteaks, but they make their burgers from, I'm going to really screw this up, but I'm 99.9% sure that their burgers are made from ground filet mignon. Nodding at me that I'm correct. So that makes me feel good. Dylan would be super pissed if I got this incorrect. So yeah, they take like when they chop up tenderloins and other things and like in pieces and they grind it and put it together. And that's what their burgers are made out of. So they're so good. And
Robert's Meats.
yeah, it's on the corner of West Shore and El Prado. It's like a staple in South Tampa. It's been around forever.
I was there yesterday.
At Roberts?
No, in that area. Why couldn't this have been 2 days ago?
Yeah, you screwed up. I could have told you if you were in my neck of the woods.
No, that's all right. I went to Ray's. I got a grouper sandwich, so it was worth
Ray's is great. Roberts also has a grouper sandwich that's like enormous. It's so good. Everything there is good. And they started just recently because Dylan told me, but I haven't been yet. They started doing fish fry Fridays. And I'm pretty sure they have a Sunday brunch that has like some sort of like tenderloin eggs
A
Benedict.
meat shop?
Yeah.
I'm so fucking going there, man.
It's so good. We buy most of our steaks from there.
I might be there tomorrow.
We just got first of all, they have really great beef jerky. This is just going to be a promo about Roberts. They have really great beef jerky. When Robert gets bored, he makes these like stuffed pork chops that are stuffed with their homemade wine and cheese sausage. Those are really good too.
You had me at, you like it. It's your number one.
It's for sure my number one. I wonder if Dylan would say it's his number one too if you asked him. But yeah, it's my number one burger place for sure.
Wow.
Probably my number one sandwich shop.
I'm going.
It's so
I'm
good.
going. Going Friday for lunch. Putting it on the calendar.
I will meet you there. It is so good.
Eddie C, you're number one.
You know what mine probably is? I've been fucking with names for it, but in a shout out to our boy Casey Grill, I got to call it Before the Storm. That's an old one. And the B4 is, I had to write this down, VooDoo Black, Jalapeno Bacon, Point Reyes Blue, and Portobello.
Another creation of Eddie C's.
That's it, all on that burger. And usually when I make it, I sit there like a stoned Jabba the Hutt, and I can't move. That is just so.
You can't give a shout out to Casey on that. He's a fucking full-on vegan now, I think.
We're gonna work on that, man.
If he wasn't a musician, we wouldn't be able to talk to him.
I know. It still boggles my fucking mind that, but you do you, baby. I gotta keep that in mind.
True story. My number one, I'm going to give a shout out to somebody that we share an alma mater. We both went to Jefferson High School. Unfortunately, not around anymore. Eats American Grill, Chris Rose. He did the 50-50, 80-20 burger with Applewood smoked bacon. He topped it with cheese of choice and these spicy fucking onions that will knock your socks off. I mean,
knew
my
you were gonna
nose.
say that 50-50 burger.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites, and it's stuck in my head so much to the point that I've recreated it, and I now do a 50-50, 80-20 Applewood smoked bacon blend. I call it my Burger 13, and it's phenomenal. We actually served Burger 13 at the VooDoo Hangout a couple weeks ago, and we served 4 of them. And through donations made to the foundation, we were able to raise $300 on those 4 burgers. So big shout out to the guys that hooked that up, Spider and the Thomases. Thanks for supporting the foundation. We hope you enjoyed the burger, but I can assure you it was nowhere near as good as the Chris Rose burger from Eats American Grill. My hat's off to you, sir. And I'm sad that you decided to move on to bigger and better things and let go of Eats, because it was one of my favorite places.
That was a great place.
Maiken, you are so competitive.
I don't know what would make you say that.
You. So we have to lay out the rules to the competition, okay? I hear Kevin over there. I hear everything.
He made some smart remark.
Snapping and cracking. I hear the cans opening.
Yeah, he was opening. He's having the Hefeweizen one.
Yeah, I don't drink that.
Didn't have earlier because
It's not recorded on video.
Good stuff.
Well, I know you're competitive. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
How's it going?
Doing good, man. You're welcome to sit down, join in. We're gonna play some trivia here.
Oh, I'm starving, but I'll listen in.
All right, so the rules are simple. There's number 1, no cheating. Number 2, you have to have a drink in hand, and that was perfect timing. So, are you ready to meet your competitor?
How much was in there? Yeah.
So, what's amazing is I know how competitive you are, and what would be more fun than a nice little sibling rivalry?
I literally earlier today was like, I wonder if he's going to have asked Kevin or if he will have asked Dylan, or my other choice was Stevie Gonzalez.
I figured a little sibling rivalry might be fun, but there he is. Hey, homie.
What's up?
You see the smirk on his face?
Dylan, real talk before we get started. Who makes the best burger in town? Honestly, you picked what I picked.
See, this is a loaded question because
I know, it's fine.
We're ranting about the Biggie Burger at Robert's Meats is pretty fantastic.
I told you he'd pick the same one. Chef's never been to Robert's.
And like the 10-ounce filet sandwich for like $12 is a pretty solid deal also.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No, it's good stuff.
Dylan will say the same thing, and I told him that the burger was made of ground filet, and I was like, "Oh, if I get that wrong, Dylan's gonna be real mad." So I'm glad he's.
It's ground tenderloin, yeah.
What I'm hearing is the next golf meeting needs to be there instead of burger culture.
Yeah, we can do that. You'd like the cheesesteak too? They put hot salami on it.
What?
Yeah.
On their cheesesteak, it's so good. Everything is good.
Holy moly! I am in. I'm in. All right, so I thought it would be fun because little sibling rivalry here for trivia. We have 10 questions, and this is truly pointless pop culture trivia.
I'm so screwed.
The rules are simple. Was that a slow-mo effect, or was that just you going? That was pretty good.
Me or Maiken?
No, Maiken.
Oh.
You look like you're on slow-mo. I was freaking out. I'm not even drinking tonight.
I was trying to see how much beer.
I thought that was a requirement.
Well, trivia is now, so we're in.
Okay.
So Here are the rules.
Restart.
No cheating, and you have to have a cocktail. Dylan, what are you drinking?
Macallan 12 in a throwback Buccaneers glass.
Love it, love it, love it.
Fancy.
So I will read the question. You can shout in at any time, and by shout in, I mean to answer the question, you simply yell your name. And
Yell
Ed,
my own name?
yes, that way we know who's first or second. So if you think you know, you would yell, Maiken.
She's definitely going to screw that up.
Yep. 100%.
And Ed will call on whoever called in first, and they'll have a chance to answer the question. If they're right, they get the point. If they are wrong, I will finish reading the question, and the other person will get a chance to answer the question. Too easy?
When's the sports section of these trivia
None.
questions?
I don't think there's any sports questions.
Yeah.
So screwed.
You know, I don't think so. I don't think there's any sports.
I hope these are easy because
Angelina got them all.
she's smarter than I am.
First of all, she's way smarter than me. So
Scholarship to college or something.
And she's not drinking.
She's
All right,
like,
question number 1. When talking about the quadratic equation as it applies to sine cut, I made that shit up.
Like X. The answer's X.
Oh,
Kevin
was
just started laughing at me. He was like, "Good luck, babe."
that was too fun.
yeah, I need to phone a friend. I need to ask Kevin for that answer.
I was going to say, we can get Kevin in on a third screen here.
You're breaking up. That's what I'm going to say next time. I don't know the answer. I'm moving.
All right, here we go.
Oh God,
What are the names? Remember, you shout your own name.
Nope.
Are you sweating? Are you really getting worked up over
Yeah,
this?
my palms are sweaty. I mean, you can't see
Mine
it.
are too, but it's because it's hot as fuck. We live in Florida.
yeah.
Got a point.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. What are the names of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's kids? Two
Macon.
of the kids.
I
Okay.
mean,
How many kids does she have?
4.
don't answer that. No, come on.
I shouldn't have said my own.
Did you know it?
I only know one of them.
We'll go for 2. Who can get 2?
I also think I only know one.
Who
And
can get
it's by far the dumbest name.
Who can get 1 that is not
Hey,
north?
Dylan.
That is not
I got
north.
nothing. Maybe Northwest. That's all I got.
Wow, we're going 0 to 0 after question number 1.
No, I'll guess. I'll guess if there's
No. He already said we're going 0-0. You moved on.
Look at the sibling rivalries.
I know.
Stop looking at Kevin. Stop looking at Kevin. No. Question
She's-
number 2. Question number 2.
What were you looking?
like Kevin's gonna know.
He's
Ask
got-
Kevin if he knows.
Kardashians, babe.
I don't know.
Kim Kardashian.
They live in South Tampa.
All right, so you got North.
The South Tampa of California.
I want to guess True. Is that a name?
That is not one of the names, but it might as well have been because
Ponder's kids' names. That's one of Sam
So you
Ponder's
have-
kids.
you have
Others.
North, you have Saint,
I thought you were going to say South and it was going to lose it.
you have Chicago,
Okay.
and you have Psalm, as in a
Okay.
psalm.
Like song, yeah.
No.
All right.
What a bunch of dumbass names.
I was going to say be careful what you're going to
You know
say because
what?
a lot of people love those kids, but
No, I think they love to hate them. I
we're
don't
not
know.
friends with those. We're not friends with those kind of
That was dumb too.
I just wish I had their fucking money.
I just had a fraction.
Damn. Yeah, I was going to say, give me 10%. I don't need it all. That's just being greedy. That's just being greedy.
Try to be Kris Jenner.
All right.
I don't know who any of them are.
Chris is the mom.
Oh.
She gets 10%.
You want to know what's funny? I thought that was Bruce's new name because I don't really know any of them.
No, that's Caitlyn.
See, if
Yeah,
you had
I-
asked who all of the Kardashians was, Maiken had that
Listen,
question.
you could have asked me any other Kardashian question except for their
You
children.
never know. There might be another one.
Please, God, no.
There might not be, but there might be. All right, question number 2. Which actor voiced both Darth Vader and the Lion King's Mufasa?
Dylan.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones.
Got it.
James Earl Jones.
Absolutely. All right. Dylan got one right. That's what she was saying.
You deliberately disobeyed me.
Sibling rivalry at its best.
Is that
We have
your
an all
jam?
new version of.
I had to refill this after that first question. I mean, this is taking its time.
All right.
Way to quit.
Question number 3. Who did Forbes name the youngest self-made billionaire ever in 2019?
Maiken!
Maiken said her name.
What? Ed, you and I are gonna fight, boy.
Oh, I can't do much, man.
Oh, you gotta
I
get
heard
that
her
hearing check.
scream her name. She's loud.
Who is it, Maiken?
Kylie
Yeah.
Jenner.
She's very loud. She screamed her name.
It's Kylie Jenner.
Damn it, sorry, I saw a mosquito on the wall, so I had to get up and keep
I would like to point out that apparently Kylie Jenner is not a billionaire, so she's full of shit. Just saying.
A true story. That did come out after they named her.
That's true.
Well, listen, how are you going to make $1 billion selling lip gloss? Like, give the girl a break.
You have the last name Jenner.
Yeah.
It helps. I
That's
heard
your
it.
sports question. That's as close as it's going to get.
Yeah,
Who's her
Dylan.
dad? You know, her
All
dad
right,
is
here-
also stepmom.
Here we go. We're all tied up after 3. From the TV show Friends, what is Chandler Bing's middle name?
Make it.
Dylan, for when you screw this up.
Hold on. There's not a time. There's no rules.
Come on. Yeah, there is a timer.
There's no Jeopardy music playing because of royalty problems.
Judges?
I feel like it definitely starts with an M. I'm gonna go.
Oh my God! How do you know that?
Holy
Because it's
fuck.
Chandler M. Bang.
Yeah, it's Muriel.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's crazy.
You should know that I, along with Allison in my office,
Princess?
Dylan too, I think, we are undefeated at Friends Trivia.
Damn.
Who got
Sure, I
that
have
point?
never-
Kevin too. He's reminding me.
Maiken did.
Maiken did, so it's 2-1. You're so
I also
nice.
have never lost a French trivia, so.
I said you were undefeated.
Oh, you included me? That's so sweet and unnatural and not what you normally do.
You just lost that one though, didn't you?
Nice.
Hey, we play the full 9 innings at this level, okay?
All right, so I guess we're on question number 4.
Buffalo.
The
What
camera's
day is?
reversed, I hate to tell you.
No, it's
What?
not. That's your right hand.
Go ahead, Chef.
Dylan, I know that that's your right hand.
Chef, go ahead.
Chef.
I have no clue what we're talking about.
Sidebar. Dylan,
She's trying to play a drinking game with a full glass of scotch, and I'm not partaking.
you owe me
Chef,
a
go
full
ahead.
beer.
Okay. Chef, go ahead.
Continue, Chef.
I have no idea what y'all are talking about. What day is Star Wars Day?
Dylan,
Make it.
what the?
Fourth.
Correct.
Right? Look at that, Dylan, man.
You know what? You know what the best part about this is? Is we're going to get the instant replay on some of these calls that Ed's making. Everybody's going to
It'll-
Like SGA.
It's just because I'm louder. That's really all.
it's just a game, fucker. It's just a
Kevin's
game.
like, why are you
that is not how it goes in this family.
I know. That's why we had you come in. Sibling rivalry.
this
all
fucking
right.
grass?
Who was the highest paid actress of 2019 according to Forbes?
Of 2019? What year are we in? I don't listen.
2020.
We live by airport.
We're in year COVID.
The year of COVID. Oh man.
Do we need a hint?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know who she is.
Very helpful.
She was in a comic book movie.
Maiken.
Make it.
Oh, you're just saying that to give yourself time.
The woman that plays
What's her name?
Wonder Woman.
That's
I
incorrect.
don't think she played Wonder Woman, did she?
Dylan.
No.
Dylan.
Dylan.
If it's a comic book movie, I'm gonna go with Scarlett Johansson.
He is correct.
And we're all tied up now. Is that correct?
Yep. YouTube.
It's getting close.
It's not Gail Godot because I don't think she had a movie come out in 2019.
Her, that's who I was trying to think of.
I don't know who any of those people are.
She's one of them.
She's lead.
All right, here we go.
That chick's done like what? One movie? Anyway?
Who?
Gal Gadot. So she's done-
Fast and Furious. Hello, isn't she?
No way.
Yeah, she's
Way.
in like the Asian one.
Tokyo. She's in the Tokyo Drift one, which is the one that like nobody remembers exists. So it's
I
fine.
haven't seen any of them.
Doesn't really count.
I gave up
You
on
haven't
it.
seen any of the Fast and Furious movies?
The
No.
first one was on TV this afternoon. It's pretty fun to watch it again.
I saw the first one. That was it. No more.
Well, there's like 12 more for you to watch, so
I saw the video of Hulk Hogan's kid going to court for drifting his car. Does that count?
Oh, shit.
yes.
Yep.
God damn. Oh, holy shit.
All right, here we go. Let's break this tie. From Seinfeld, what is Kramer's first name?
Gosh.
Wow. So young.
Wasn't this on immediately after Friends?
Hey, I can hear Kevin in the background. I need silence over there.
He said, "Oh, that's so sad."
It's pointless pop culture trivia. What is Kramer's first name?
Maiken.
Well, I think Dylan said his name.
Oh, sorry.
Ed, buddy.
I think
buddy.
Dylan said Dylan first that time.
Okay.
My
so
bad. My bad.
I'm gonna start screaming over here.
He just said
I'm
it with a question. He said, Dylan?
Yeah,
That's why.
Dylan.
that was the
He's a low
inflection
talker.
unit.
All right, what's the answer?
I'm gonna just guess Jeremy.
No.
Not even close. Love it. I'm gonna drink for that one. So okay.
Megan?
I'm gonna guess Kramer.
That was actually a good guess, but no. His first name is Cosmo.
Ah, I
Cosmo.
said Kramer. I was like, I think it starts with a C.
Cosmo
Yeah, that-
Kramer.
Would not.
All right, here we go.
What a
What
stupid
does the
question.
acronym SMH stand for?
Maiken.
Shit, that was like a tie.
Maiken.
What?
Oh my
Dumb.
God.
She shrieks. It's like the banshee from Harry Potter.
She's drowning me out saying it because I'm saying it. My full name is out of my mouth before she has said a word.
There's strategy involved. Don't be mad.
Well, Ed, you're the judge, man. I got to defer, bro.
It was. I'm telling you, it was a photo finish. This was better than the fucking horse race Saturday. So we'll go with Dylan because otherwise he's gonna whine.
You're damn right I would. You're damn right I would.
All right, what is it?
Shaking my head.
That is correct.
Actually, shake my head, but
It's not, but
it is.
The exact answer from the Pointless Pop Culture Trivia website, which doesn't really exist, says shaking my head.
Oh,
my.
Or wait, Dylan, is that, what's that on the wall behind you? Not really, Making it says whatever you want it to.
Oh,
All right, so I think we got Dylan at +1. Is that a true statement?
I think we're at 3-2.
Which movie kicked off the Skywalker saga in 1977?
Maiken.
Making.
The Return of the Jedi.
Oh my goodness, good guess.
No.
Dylan,
It's the only Star Wars movie I know.
I would have said Star Wars. So
yeah. And realistically, you would think that the first movie is not the return of something.
It didn't go in order. Now did it? I know that much.
And because of that, I got nothing. So
it was the highest grossing though, Megan.
I thought that's what the question was.
I made that up. I don't know. It was
I got no guess.
it was A New Hope. A New Hope.
Yeah,
That's the
not a
first.
damn chance.
That's
Not a
stupid-
damn chance. That's a
Yeah,
dumbass
me
name.
either. Like I said, I would have said Star Wars. All right, here we go.
I knew that those moves were dumb as hell.
All right, be ready to shout your name out because it doesn't matter who calls it first. We're going with whoever Ed picks anyway.
What?
Thank you.
What is the name of Chip and Joanna Gaines' lifestyle brand?
Maiken!
No,
Maiken was definitely first on that.
he was. I'm giving it to. I got it.
Oh man, I'm trying to decide what the second word is.
She doesn't know. She just wanted to shout her name.
Well, I thought I knew it.
You're going to know it once you hear it.
It's, oh, well, okay, so you might be asking.
What is the name of their lifestyle brand? You can buy it at Target. Not that I know that. So a friend told me.
Yeah, heard it from a friend.
That was Angelina telling me.
Heart and Home?
Man, that was I would have believed it if you said it with conviction, and I probably could have sold it to everybody, but no, wrong. Dylan.
I thought it had something with the word silo in it. I got no idea.
That's one of their properties.
Hand and Home?
The name of their lifestyle brand is Magnolia.
No bullshit. No, it's not. That's not what you buy at Target. Bullshit. Bullshit.
No cheating. He said no
She's
cheating.
Googling it. She's
Put your
looking
phone
it
away.
up.
Joanna Gaines silverware I bought from Target, and they're not called Magnolia.
What's
What are
it
they
say?
called?
It's the name of
It's probably
her
not- Probably
magazine.
not heart.
It called
Probably
Knife.
not heart and hand or whatever.
It was
whatever
called
other
Knife?
thing.
Yes, it is.
What's it say on the side of the knife? Does it say like
Says
It's
Knife.
made
Knife.
in China. It's
whatever
called,
dumb shit?
it's called Heart and Home. I am telling you.
It's called Made in China.
Magnolia is the name of their magazine and the bakery.
Holy
And the
cow.
shop.
Are we still tied? Is that where we're at, or somebody got a
Yeah.
plus
Oh,
one?
no,
We-
I'm contesting.
We are not tied. We are not tied.
Joanna Gaines
All right, Dylan,
line
wait.
at Target.
All right, we're moving on to the next question.
Bullshit, we are. Oh, Hearth and Hand. Look at that.
You said heart, dummy.
Hey,
Uh-uh,
Google,
Hearth, like a
Yeah.
fireplace.
Google,
Uh-uh.
what is
No.
Joanna and Chip Gaines' lifestyle brand?
Holy
At
shit.
Target.
No. The question
Hearth
is
and-
at
it's
Target.
Hearth and Hand with Magnolia. I'm telling you it is.
With Magnolia.
Well,
No, the question did not say
it's Hearth and
at
Hand.
Target.
All
And
right.
you said at Target.
Here we go. We're moving on to the next
Wait.
question.
Dylan, we're moving on. Calm down.
Moving on. And Dylan is at a plus one. Please pay attention to the question and shout out. And remember, Ed has final say. Which hard seltzer did America face a shortage of in 2019?
Dylan.
Maiken,
Dylan was first.
White Claw.
White Claw it is.
you would know. You're like the poster boy for White Claw.
And ain't a, hey,
It'll probably cause the shortage. That's what Kevin said.
it ain't against the law if you drink a claw.
All right, Maiken, there's, I think, only 2 questions left, so we need you to hit this one.
You need bonus round questions.
Incorrect.
Here we go.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to throw you a softball. Mariah Carey is known for which now classic Christmas song that debuted in the 90s?
Maiken.
All I Want for Christmas.
All right.
That is it.
I hope if we go to a tie, we're in trouble.
Yeah, we're fucked.
Dylan's at plus one because we only have one more question. Oh, no. I lied. There's 2 more questions.
This feels rigged.
Who starred alongside Paris Hilton in the show The Simple Life?
Question wasn't even done, and she definitely had that.
Cole Richie.
We are tied up with 1 question left, Dylan. And I got some bad news.
Yeah, it's not a sports question.
It's not a sports question. We're not going to talk football. It's a chick flick.
Dylan probably has a stronger chance of getting that correct than I do.
Well, here we go.
Real talk.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink is a quote.
Well, Maiken was first there.
Mean Girls, motherfucker.
Oh, a photo.
I'm going, Maiken. Listen, I'm going back to the tape on all these bad calls by Ed. I'm going back to the tape on how many questions you actually read out loud.
Hey, look, I'm just going by what I see on my Zoom where there's a little bit of a delay, and her yellowing probably comes
You gotta pay for that primo internet, Dylan.
Yeah, we got a picture of it over there.
You got that Spectrum life. That's why you're struggling.
Maiken saying you're bootlegging off the neighbor, man. Guys, I love that you guys both came in and were willing to play pointless pop culture trivia, sibling rivalry style.
I forgot we were on a podcast. Your people are going to turn this off as soon as this starts because I'm so obnoxious and I'll scream in. And if anyone's driving and listening to this, they're going to blow out their damn eardrums.
Great.
No one's going to want to listen to this.
All the VooDoos are going to say, wait a minute. These two people, neither one says a single word whenever we see them. Where did all this come from? But
alcohol.
Hey, with all the truth, with all the love, I appreciate both of you. I have nothing but love and respect for everything you guys do. Thank you for taking the time, joining us here tonight. You guys are rock stars.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thanks, Chef.
you guys are awesome. We miss you.
Thanks, Ed.
By the way, the rematch is going to be in one of your cook-offs because I'm undefeated in those.
Take it to the streets.
Yeah.
All right, who's going to give me a little stupid, hey, I love VooDoo Chef sauces and seasonings, and who's going to give me a, hey, come out to do some VooDoo Chef shit thing or something that we can put out there on the podcast?
I'll do a shout out.
Go ahead, because I just blow you up later, so we'll just shut up and you can talk.
Is it just audio or can you see my face?
No, they'll see your face.
Oh, let me act professional. What am I supposed to
That's going
say?
to be pretty tough.
Anything you want. We're going to isolate your video, so.
Oh, boy. Okay. Hello, all you.
Oh
Wait, let me mute Dylan. All right, Dylan's muted.
That was a mistake. Oh, man.
God.
And there you have it, Booties, another episode of the VooDoo Chef podcast. Let's give a big shout out to everyone involved with VooDoo Chef and all things VooDoo, starting with Woostoff Knives, the official knife of the VooDoo Chef. And jamming up and down the streets of all Ybor City and Tampa Bay, Ragged Old Souls. Thanks for letting me jam with you guys. And when those amps are cranking, the turntables are definitely spinning thanks to the official DJ of the VooDoo Chef, DJ Don Pablo. Check him out spinning all across town, most importantly, at all VooDoo Chef events. Speaking of events, getting ready for yours? Check out VooDoo Chef Catering, custom created events for every shape and size. Log on to VooDooChefCatering.com to get your information today. A great big shout out to all my Voodies that are in the VooDoo crew. Thank you for your support. And of course, we could not do what we do in the crew without all of our crew sponsors. First Watch, Chef Shane Shively, thank you for believing in our mission. And of course, we can't forget VooDoo Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, check them out at VooDooMortgage.com. Alessi Bakery, a Tampa staple. Drop in and check them out today. And our newest sponsor, Twisted South Food Truck. Chef Adam Jessup, thank you for what you do. And of course, all things VooDoo are in support of the VooDoo Chef Foundation, providing culinary scholarship and feeding those in need. To find out more information or make a donation yourself, log on to VooDooChefFoundation.com today.